I am just really, really frustrated right now because I've lost something I've been looking for in order to help me find something else. Does that make sense? Well, I've been looking for a magnifying glass. Seriously, I used to have a magnifying glass here in my little office, and now I can't find it. And I was going to use that magnifying glass to talk to you about how we look for things, but I can't find the magnifying glass. It seems to have been lost. So I'm just a little frustrated about that. Did you ever lose something? I bet you have, and I bet you've been frustrated too, right? Okay, so I don't feel so bad then because you've lost some things, and apparently I've lost something like my magnifying glass. I don't know where I'll find it, but I'll keep looking, but still frustrating. Did you ever lose an animal? No? Good, because animals would be really tough. If we lost an animal, what would we do? Well, you may have heard about Little Bo Peep, right? Yeah, she lost an animal. Well, a couple of them, actually. If you remember the rhyme, it tells us of the story of Little Bo Peep, right? Little Bo Peep has lost her sheep and doesn't know where to find them. Leave them alone and they'll come home wagging their tails behind them. Well, that's the short modern version of a rhyme that dates back to 16th century England. You know, there were even references about the existence of a game for children, and it was called Bo Peep, found in Shakespeare's King Lear play. So it is rather old, this story of Little Bo Peep. Little Bo Peep is a rhyme that has a good purpose. It's about a little sheepkeeper, a little shepherd who lost one of her sheep. Why? Well, because she fell asleep. But it has a good ending. But here's the whole story. Little Bo Peep has lost her sheep and doesn't know where to find them. Oh, poor sheep. Leave them alone and they'll come home, bringing their tails behind them. Little Bo Peep fell fast asleep and dreamt she heard them bleating. Bah! But when she awoke, she found it a joke, for they were all still fleeting, still missing. Then up she took her little crook, determined for to find them. She found them indeed, but it made her heart bleed, for they had left their tails behind them. It happened one day as Bo Peep did stray into a meadow hard by. There she espied their tails side by side, all hung on a tree to dry. Thank goodness. She heaved a sigh and wiped her eye, and over the hillocks went rambling, and tried what she could, as a shepherdess should. Wow. So let's assume that the sheep got their tails back, right? I think so. Well, I'm glad that Little Bo Peep continued to look for her sheep and didn't give up. And I'm also glad the sheep were able to get their tails back. Can you imagine the sheep missing their tails? Ooh, that's a little scary and sad thought that the sheep would be missing their tails. Well, I'm thankful for Little Bo Peep. You know, this rhyme reminds me of the story from the Bible when Jesus talked about looking for lost things. In Luke chapter 15, Jesus tells several stories of losing things. He talks about a lost coin. He talks about this prodigal son who lost his way in life. And he talks about a lost sheep. And here's the story from Luke 15, beginning in verse 1. The tax collectors and sinners were all gathering around to hear Jesus. But the Pharisees and the teachers of the law were whispering among themselves, and they said, "This man, he welcomes sinners and he eats with them. Oh, shame on him." Well, then Jesus told them a story, and he said, "Suppose one of you has 100 sheep and loses one of them. Won't he leave the 99 in the open, safe country? Won't he go and look for the one lost sheep until he finds it? And when he finds it, he will joyfully put it on his shoulders and he will go home. Then he will call his friends and his neighbors together, and he will say, 'Be joyful with me. I have found my lost sheep.' I tell you, it will be the same in heaven. There will be great joy when one sinner turns away from sin. Yes, there will be more joy than for 99 godly people who do not need to turn away from their sins." Jesus refers to himself as the Good Shepherd, one who takes care of his sheep and one who also looks for his sheep who may get lost, just like Little Bo Peep. I'm really glad that Jesus is the Good Shepherd. And I am glad that Jesus loves me and that he loves you and that he protects us and keeps us from getting lost. And I'm very glad that if we do happen to get lost, I know that Jesus will seek us and he will find us, just like Little Bo Peep did. So, today, trust God. Know that he loves you. Know that he seeks you. Know that he is rejoicing because he found us. He brought us back to his safe place, away from sin, away from hard times, away from evil, and he protects us. I'm really glad to hear that. So remember Little Bo Peep, and remember Jesus is our good shepherd. Have a great day. Be joyful and be at peace.